So, dietary therapy versus American. In America, we tend to underestimate the importance of food. We just view it as a generic fuel, and as long as I can put something in me so I can keep going, that's all that matters. And we are very much driven by convenience, because we are a very active culture. We like to do a lot of things. Eating does not get a high priority, and I encourage us all that it needs to be a higher priority. It is probably the most influential decision we make on a daily basis, and it influences our health. So we are driven by convenience. And we have a tendency to only feed our tongues. We let our tongues dictate the diet, but the tongue is only one of the organs that experiences the food. So this is something we need to drill into our patients. The food that we eat will stay in our body for weeks or months as the tissues that it turns into. And so we need to make that a priority. And we are in love with our cheap food in America. We've got very cheap food. And in order to do this, we have to use pesticides, growth hormones, and preservatives, all of which have got negative consequences for health. There is a saying that I like a lot in Italian culture that says, it is better to pay the grocer than the doctor. Again, maybe not for our business, but I like the sentiment there. And I also advocate gentle change. If you try and change too much too quickly, you'll set yourself up to fail and shock your system. Detox diets, liquid diets, fasting diets, the Atkins diets are neither balanced nor moderate. The best way to get into balance is to live a little more in balance today, not to grossly overcompensate for yesterday. We've got plenty of time. We just want to make this sustainable. So some of the things that we are doing wrong in America. With grains, we are refining all of our grains. We're not having the whole grains. We should be having whole grains. We should be having a wide variety. In Asia, they have a much wider variety of foods, and they're almost omnivorous. Vegetables. We should be having a wider variety. The average American has a rotation of 7 vegetables they eat in a year. Every food has something no other food can give us. We need a wider rotation of that. And we should be having more cooked than raw. There's a fad right now in America that we should, some people are thinking we should have all of our food raw. But cooking has been a part of every culture since recorded time. Everything that you put in your stomach that's cold and raw, you have to heat and cook. That takes your time, your energy, and slows your metabolism. In America, obesity is becoming an epidemic, so most of my patients are very receptive to messages that will improve their ability to lose weight. So this is something that I talk with them a lot about. We should be having more vegetables than fruit. Fruit's good, but vegetables are better. Less sugar. Meat. Most people in America are having way too much meat, and that is not good. It's clearly associated with myriad health problems. And then there's about 5 or 10% of people that go to the other extreme and are vegetarian. And so our extreme mindset in our culture is that if a lot is bad, none must be best. And usually the middle path is the best. The Chinese recommend that we get 2 ounces twice a week of specifically mammal meat. A little bit of fish is good, a little bit of fowl is good as well, but we should be getting a little bit of mammal too, but a wide variety. Not always the same animal, not always the same cut. And in my culture, we're only eating the muscle and ignoring the organ meats, and I think that we're missing out on something important with that. 2 minutes? Okay. We have an aggressive dairy campaign. People tell us we need a lot of dairy. No other animal has dairy. The parts of the world that have the most dairy have the highest rates of osteoporosis. We don't need that. In America, we have all of our beverages ice cold. In Asia, they have the hot green tea that facilitates digestion and is full of health benefits. Supplements are a billion-dollar industry. We did not evolve by eating niacin or B12. We've evolved by eating food. That is the best way to get your nutrition. Calorie counting is a waste of time. It directs people to choose the wrong foods. I've got a lot of patients think that Diet Coke is a health food. The average person in China has between 25 and 40% more calories every day than their average American counterpart, and they have much less obesity, so it's not the calories. Our lifestyle should be balanced and moderate. You don't want to work too much, play too much. We need to get enough sleep. Most Americans don't get enough exercise, and those that do tend to overdo just one exercise. So we want to have a balanced portfolio of our exercise as well. And we want to incorporate relaxation to our daily routine. Our attitudes, we put too much pressure on ourselves to be perfect. You don't want to be too quick to judge events. We never know how things are going to work out, and things always work out one way or another. You don't want to overestimate your sphere of influence. If you think you can control yourself, if you think you can control those around you, you're going to drive yourself and them crazy. And our emotions should be like the wind, felt when they're here, gone when they're gone. Let go of yesterday's stress, and look for the humor in life. It should be fun. We should laugh. We should love. Yes. So diet, lifestyle, and attitudes, these are the things that we should all be going over with our patients. And I brought 20 copies of my book. If anybody would like to look at them and think it'd be appropriate to share with their patients, I'd be happy to give them with you if you'd like to take one home and evaluate it. I'm sorry I don't have one for everybody, but I will be around after this section if anybody would like to look at them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Any comments, please?
I have a question. Some people feel that the soil is very depleted right now, so we don't get enough what we need in our foods. This is one thing. And the other thing is some nutritionists feel that we're so compromised living in the environment we're living in that our body are not producing enough digestive enzyme to break the food properly, and they recommend we'll take those. So I'm curious for your response.
I think this is evidence why we need to get back to better farming practices, why we need to be more organic and more locally, because the supplements, they can give us some of what we're lacking, but not all of what we're lacking. So there can be a stopgap measure, but this is nature telling us that we need to get back to the more sustainable, more nutritious way of farming. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any more?